Hello and welcome one and all. My name is Laura Cantu and yes, this is real life. I know it's been a long 10 years, but we finally made it past election week, right? So let's waste no time and go ahead and check on the State of the U. As the whole world knows by now, Syracuse University alumni and Ray-Ban sunglasses model Joseph Robinnette Biden beat President Donald Trump in the 2020 presidential election and is set to become the oldest president in American history. Personally, I find it really poetic that President-elect Biden ran against his old college mascot and came out victorious. With his victory, Biden became the first ever Syracuse University alumni to become president, and more importantly, has saved Christmas for all of us. I mean, think about it. With Jim Carrey's SNL contract most likely being extended, the Grinch will be too busy to steal Christmas.
Oh. That's it, I'm not going.
George Washington University sent out an election preparedness email to its students, urging them to stock up on food, medicine, and supplies prior to Tuesday's election. The email suggested students prepare for the election day period as they would for a hurricane or a snowstorm that would prevent them from going outside for a long period of time. The argument for GW to send this email was that before knowing that Joe Biden would be the winner of the election, no one really knew how the Electoral College would end up splitting, and this could lead to civil unrest and violence. Which, by the way, can we take a second to talk about how crappy the Electoral College is? The Electoral College is so inefficient that President Biden's first executive order in 2021 will be to change its name to Nevada. Which, by the way, I spent more time thinking about Nevada during the last 7 days than I had over the span of 23 years.
We love Nevada. We love Nevada. Thank you.
A North Carolina college has been charged for an alleged $12 million scheme involving fake students and free money. And personally, I feel as though it is my duty to report on this, mainly because we have not heard of a southern state being associated with the words fraud and scheme enough over the last few days.
Why is Florida always at the forefront of election controversies? Short answer, Florida is hell in a swamp.
So pretty much what happened was that a theology college in North Carolina was recruiting fake students and employing a scam in which they would tell potential students that they could obtain free money without doing any schoolwork and without attending any classes, as long as they enrolled in the college and provided personal information. 6 administrators from the Apex School of Theology were charged on the counts of conspiracy, mail fraud, and financial aid fraud, while 2 were also charged with money laundering. You know, because lawsuits are cool nowadays. Now, if you thought all these stories were wild, you have to see what's coming up next, or else you won't believe it. I'm being informed that a Minnesota college president offers to bail out students arrested in 2020 protests, which doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, why would any student be in favor of tests? I'm just kidding. I'm obviously talking about presidential protests. And it's really cool that McAllister College president, Suzanne Rivera, cares so deeply about both the well-being of her students and their right to practice civil disobedience. I only wish colleges would keep that energy when it came to textbook costs. Like, yeah, bailing students out of jail is cool, but I would also not mind being bailed out of Pearson's correctional facility. President Rivera tweeted out that any currently enrolled student who participates in civil disobedience and needs help with a bail or a fine that they cannot afford can seek reimbursement by emailing me. Which reminds me of the time I disobeyed my budget earlier this week and bought myself a new pair of shoes. So if you don't mind sharing that email, I would really appreciate it. So between a new president, warnings of civil unrest, fraudulent colleges, and everything in between, this has been a fitting election week for the insanity that has been 2020. Regardless of what your thoughts on last week's elections were, at least we can all count on the same glimmer of hope that unites all of us Americans. Yes, I am talking about that one individual who can fix the insanity that this year has brought. Tasha Adams, may your journey as the new Bachelorette unite this broken country. I'm Laura Cantu, and this has been the State of the U.
Hey, if you like this video and want to keep up with everything regarding college and education, do yourself and us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Also, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like it and feel free to check out some of our other videos. As always, please let us know if you have any questions.